All right, it's time to take out your notepads. Our next speaker is a very good friend of mine, and he really needs no introduction. He's been involved with internet marketing and e commerce since 1995. He's had over 100,000 sellers go through his Amazon course called Freedom Ticket, and he mentors sellers through Helium 10's Elite program. And collectively, get this, he has sold over $1.5 billion per year on Amazon collectively through his students. And in his spare time, and this is only in his spare time, he founded Billion Dollar Seller Summit, one of the best known Amazon events in the industry. Now, without further ado, please join me in giving a warm welcome to Mr. Kevin King.
What's up, everybody? Hope you've been having a great event so far. I've got a presentation for you that hopefully will give you a few cool tips and tricks on how to make some more money or save some time or both of those. Awesome. If you don't know who I am, my name is Kevin King. I've been doing this thing for a little while, since 1995, sold over 8 figures of products online. I host the Helium 10 Elite Mastermind for advanced sellers. I host the Billion Dollar Seller Summit, taught over 160,000 entrepreneurs how to sell on Amazon, specifically in the Freedom Ticket. I'm also the host of the Billion Dollar Seller Summit, where our last event, the average attendee was doing 13.5 million. I've advised people that have done collectively over $5 billion in sales on Amazon. So been doing this thing for a while. So hopefully I got a few insights that I can share with you today that you'll find useful. If you want to know more and find about what I do and follow the latest tips and tricks for selling on Amazon, on Walmart, on TikTok, on all the different e-commerce platforms, sign up for my free newsletter at billiondollarsellers.com. It's totally free. It's like getting a mastermind in your inbox twice a week. Lots of cool tips and tricks in there. It's totally free, billiondollarsellers.com. Just make sure that when you sign up, you hit the confirm link. You'll get a second email that you have to actually confirm to opt in, and then you'll be set and start receiving those. Cool. Let's get started with today's 21 hacks for cool kids. Number one, we always in this e-commerce business always have trouble cash flowing sometimes. But did you know you can actually pay your suppliers with a credit card if you need to? You know, there's lots of credit cards out there that you can get with 0% interest or even low interest. And sometimes this can be a great way to get yourself out of a bind. There's a company called Melio Payments that actually allows you to do this. So you can use your credit card. They do charge a small fee for doing it. So, but it's kind of like I just treat it like a very low interest rate. I consider that small fee as like a low interest rate, and I can usually absorb that. But what I'd like to do is I got to go to bankrate.com. If you're a U.S. citizen and you have pretty good credit, you can go to bankrate.com and get some 0% interest credit cards. So instead of throwing this in something maybe you already have, if you can pay it off within a month, then do that and earn the points or earn whatever your best credit card you already have and you like to use. But if you're not able to pay that off within a month to avoid the interest charges, then maybe go to bankrate.com and get a 0% interest credit card. And there's a bunch of options there where you get 0% for 12 months, 18 months, sometimes 2 years, and use one of those cards to do this. That's what I like to do. Like, for example, here's the Discover It card, the Wells Fargo Reflect card. These are some recent offers. There's plenty more on there. Number two, make sure you're always optimizing your shipping containers. This is a free tool for when you're bringing stuff in from China or Turkey or Vietnam or wherever you may be shipping from. Peer-to-peer.com is a cool tool where you can put in the dimensions of your cases, of your products, and it will figure out the optimal way to actually load these, either bulk load on, jam as many to the container as you can, or if they're loaded on pallets, it'll optimize that. It'll tell you how many containers and what size is going to be optimize your shipment. I actually could do the configurations for you, so you could give this to your factory and say, hey, stack the container this way. This is how we're going to get the most items in that container to maximize your shipping capacity. It'll do something similar to this. And then it'll give you all the dimensions. And then it'll tell you, like over on the right, these are the loading, these are the containers you need, this is their weights, this is what how they need to be set up. It's a pretty cool little tool, so you can optimize your shipping. Number three, this is how you can make money fall from the sky on your own sites or sites these are sites outside of Amazon. So this won't work on Amazon, but it'll work on your own site or on blogs or landing pages that you may have. It's called retention.com. And what they do is anybody that visits your site, a lot of times you don't know who they are. They never fill in an email address or sign up for your newsletter or do anything like that. And you don't know who they are. But this company uses IP addresses and some reverse matching, and they turn missed opportunities into revenue. So they can actually, using public databases and by geolocating where that person came from, they can, and oftentimes find about 50% or more of the people who came to your site. They know who they are, and they can put them into a list for you, and you can retarget them either by emailing them or putting them to custom audiences. Some pretty cool stuff. And it's like money falling from the sky. You know who's been visiting your site. There's another one called DataZap that will do a similar thing. They're a little bit cheaper, so you could check out to which one you like. Retention has a few more bells and whistles, but DataZap can also be a good option. It's a little bit cheaper. You also, if you do this, don't just blindly email all these people that you get. You want to put them through a service called zerobounce.net, and this will take out all the bad email addresses, all the ones that may be considered spammy email addresses or email addresses people haven't even logged into their email in 3 years, or they're invalid. It'll get all those out. That way you won't hurt your rating, your ESP on your ESP, on your email service provider. You won't start getting a bad score as an email sender and start being flagged and most of your stuff going into spam or promotions tabs. So it's very important to run something through Zero Bounce. It's not expensive, but it will clean up your email list and get all the bad ones out. These are some of the issues that they help fix, any kind of typos, spam traps, accounts that have gone dormant that don't even exist, or fake accounts, that kind of stuff. It'll get all this stuff out. It's really cool. Number 4, this is how to get stunning photos and videos of your product without sending the product to a studio. It's really, really cool little tool. You can create these stunning 3D renders in record time. So you upload an image of your product, you select a template, and then you customize the image. It's called zeg.ai, zeg.ai. There's tons of these kinds of tools out there, but this is just one that's pretty cool. There's others that are similar, but zeg.ai could take your product and put it almost into any background. Pretty cool. There's a free option, then there's a paid option, just depending on what your needs are. Number 5, if you're running anything on TikTok, this is an SEO tip to get your TikTok videos to show up a little bit better. If you want to see the full way to do this, there's a link there to the LinkedIn post where this fellow explained it in detail. But just in a nutshell, what you want to do is a lot of people don't realize that Gen Z right now, TikTok is their default search engine. They're not going to Google. They're not going to Bing. They're not going somewhere else. They're actually searching for stuff on TikTok. So you want to be SEO optimized for TikTok so people find your stuff. So you want to use keyword search terms on screen and in the captions. And now you say, well, if I use them on screen, that's going to be covering up my video. It's going to make it look bad. But there's a cool little trick that you can do after you've researched the terms that really match up. And you can use tools like Helium 10 or Keyword Chef or SEMrush to find these. You want to hide these search terms in your video by pasting them in on top of your video and then shrinking them down and then turning them to a color that matches the background or transparent. Or in some cases, that could be white, or it could be a color that makes them invisible. So they're still sitting there on the video, and TikTok's tools will actually see them and load them, and you'll get ranking juice on them, and it won't bother the customer or create a bad experience. A really easy way to tell if this actually worked, you need to wait about 15, 30 minutes or so for it to re-index, is by going up into the top of the search bar and typing those keywords. So like if one of your keywords was summer outfit, type in the word summer outfit on the search bar on TikTok and see if your video actually shows up in the list of results. If it just says find related content, then it didn't work. And you're going to have to go back to the drawing board and test some more. Tip number 6 for cool kids. This is how you can add your product to a scene with a realistic human. This is really cool. It's a tool called Caspa.ai. And I've got a little video here that I'm going to show you of how it works. So check this out. So in this first one here, we have they're uploading a picture of their necklace. And then they're typing in some comments like, I want it with a girl and blah, blah, blah. She needs to be this and this kind of background. So they're typing in these prompts up in the top left, and it's changing the picture on the fly. And they're highlighting, don't take this choker off, but just the necklace is there. And there you go. It makes a really, really cool picture. Then add some text on top of it or below it and customize that text. Another way they're doing it here is like take this water bottle, knock out this part of the background. Over on this side, I want to see a blonde girl. That's what they're typing up in the top of the prompt, basically. Puts a blonde girl smiling, and then like, okay, now and right below her, let's put a bowl of cereal or some grains. And over on this side, let's take this window out and kind of highlight and put a table and stuff back there. It's pretty cool. Or here's another one. Take this guy, but let's make him Asian instead of a Caucasian. And then in the background, let's put him in a gym. That's what they're basically typing in over there. And it will actually put him in like a gym scene. It's pretty cool stuff. It's called Caspa.ai. Cool. Next tip. This is how you can increase your domain authority with this hack from Empower. If you're running traffic to a blog, a lot of people like to run traffic to a blog or to the domain, and then they run it from there to Walmart or to Amazon or to wherever you may be selling. This is how you can increase your authority so that you get ranked better. Everything Amazon or Walmart or whatever are more likely you're more likely to be found and people link over that. So Google will rank you better. If you go to empower.seo, they walk you through this whole thing. I'm not going to go through all the details right now. But the first thing you want to do is go to hrefs.com and use their website authority checker and check and see what your score is. And it's probably pretty low. And this is how you can get that score raised up. If you go to expireddomains.net, these are people that didn't pay their bill or just let their domains expire. But some of these had a lot of massive backlinks, which means people that were linking to that site. And Google and ranking sees that as you must be important or providing valuable stuff if all these people are linking to you. So you can find sites that have a lot of backlinks that are dead, and you can basically take them over. And especially if you can find sites that have keywords that are similar to yours and your business, then you can take those over and you can put your blog or put redirects on there and redirect them over and take advantage of all the hard work they did over the years of building up this reputation. But this is how to do it. So like if one of these expired domains was polarbearediting.com, you can get all the information on it. You can buy these things a lot of times for pretty cheap. So in this case, it's $12 for a site that has 310,000 backlinks. That's crazy. So you change the DNS to Cloudflare and you set it up a 301 redirect, and boom, and that site is providing massive backlinks. You're going to rank much higher in Google, Bing, and all that kind of stuff. And you can go from like this is someone example here on the right. They started with a domain authority score of 3, and by just doing this, they went up to a 28. That's a significant jump. So this is a pretty cool tool if you're doing any kind of outside Walmart optimization. Get the full lowdown and step-by-step at empowerseo.com. Number 8, this is how you can get your import data on your competitors for free. There's software tools like Panjiva and Import Genius and a few others that will actually charge you money to get this. They have a little bit more information, but sometimes it's overkill. You can just go to importyeti.com and get it for free. You can type in any company here and you can find what they're bringing in. In the United States, imports are public record. So anything that's shipped into the US, especially by sea, is a public record. So they will show you where it shipped from, what ship it came on, what the weight was, who the factory was that they picked it up, all this kind of stuff. So like this Yao Fengtong appliance factory, you see their most recent shipments. You can then click in on them and it'll show you a lot of details. It's a really cool way of seeing either what your competitors are doing, or if you're just looking for factories to manufacture your product, you can do this on your competition and see where their stuff is coming from. Now, I don't like people to do this to me. So what I do is I block them from actually being able to see this data for free. If you go to this website, the cdp.government in the US, you can submit an email request and with a few details, and then they will block this from being public record. It doesn't cover anything that you've already shipped in the past, so that stuff is going to stay public record. But from the day they put this on their system forward, for 2 years, you got to renew it every 2 years. They will block this data so people can't spy on you. I always recommend new sellers do this from day one. If you've been selling for a while, you definitely want to do this just to keep your competitors from kind of seeing what you're up to or finding out your factory name and that kind of thing. Number nine, these are some really cool tools for Walmart sellers. There's some newsletters if you want to stay on top of what's happening in AI. I recommend Superhuman is one that I get. Big Brain, Ben's Bites are both pretty good. Neuron's not bad, but subscribe to one of these newsletters. Just Google the name and newsletter to find their page, and you can stay on top of what's really happening out there for eCom sellers. There's also a newsletter called AI for e-commerce and for Amazon and e-commerce. So if you Google that, that's a pretty good newsletter as well. But here's some tools. I'm not going to go through each one of these. You'll have a screen, you'll have these slides, so you'll be able to play with these later. But these are some pretty cool video splitters. They'll take one long clip and cut them up into like 10 viral ones and automatically format them for the different sizes that you need for Facebook and Instagram and TikTok and YouTube Shorts. Flicky turns text into video, so you can actually create videos by just writing some text. You can add video captions, pretty cool, with Subject Magic to all your videos. Remember, most people don't listen or don't watch, I'm sorry, with the sound on a lot of times. So subtitles are super important. If you're trying to do SEO blog posts, content at scale is a pretty good little tool. Runway.ml is a pretty good little tool for some image manipulation. You want to summarize YouTube videos, show notes, landscape videos to vertical for TikTok to convert them. Big Room does that. It's cool. Fathom's a pretty cool meeting assistant. You can put it into all your Zoom calls and it'll spit out within 20, 30 minutes max of a meeting that finishes on Zoom. It'll spit out notes and you can put email addresses in there to who should get these notes, a summary of the meeting. It's kind of like having your own personal secretary there. Genie.ai is a pretty good tool that will help you find products like on Amazon or Walmart or some other platforms. There's some AI tool directories that are pretty good that have all the latest tools that are released, and there's tons of them. That's EasyMail is a Chrome extension that will automatically help you generate emails and messages if you don't like writing that kind of stuff. You want realistic humans with your product. We just talked about that. Caspa. Superflow is a good email tool. Intercom is a good customer service tool. If you want to create videos once, create video ads in one click, Oxalo is pretty good. If you want to find and build a brand, BrandSnap is really good for checking domain names and brand names and trademarks and seeing what's available. SOP stuff, Scribe Now is really good for creating SOPs to give to your assistants and VAs. Clad's really good for multiple images from your product. If you want to remove a background, Desnify is good, or remove background.pg is another one that's not on here. Blend Now lets you create really cool pictures, stunning marketing pictures just by taking a crappy picture on your phone and uploading it. Do Not Pay is a really good little legal website. I wouldn't use it for anything serious, but if you just need a simple cease and desist or simple document that's not a major kind of case or major thing, it can help you write that stuff pretty easily. Spline Design does 3D animations and design. Tugan does helps you make your marketing email. So if you're like, man, I just don't know what to say in a marketing email or my tweets, it'll help you. You put in some factors and it will help you do that. Midjourney is a great DALL-E. Those are all great image tools. If you want to learn prompting, because that's where it's at in AI, is whoever can prompt best wins. Learn Prompting's a pretty good site to actually learn how the machine likes to be fed what you want and how to be specific and how to organize it. There's another one, prompting guide, similar. You want to add your product to CM contents, pretty good. It's former Amazon guys that started this to help you drop your photo into all kinds of different backgrounds. Really, really cool AI tools here. So play around with those as you see fit. If you want to create amazing lifestyle photos with AI like this, you need to know your demographic. You need to know who is your target audience. So on the left-hand side here, we've kind of figured out, okay, people that are buying these phone cases that look like ours are pretty much females age 18 to 24. A lot of them live in California or have a California attitude. They make about 125K a year. A lot of them have master's degrees. And they have a $325 COV. So what we want to do is we want to use an AI tool that will then create something based on that avatar and create images based on that. And that's what you see here on the right. Is it's created this product, this, and put it in a nature location, daytime, coffee cup, and a tree log. And that's what they wrote as the prompt basically. And they put their tool in that because they know that appeals to that avatar. That's how you want to actually create your images. Number 10, create amazing lifestyle photos with AI. It's trytreat.io is a pretty cool tool for that. Number 11, compare yourself to your market automatically. When you're launching new products, you can use this to optimize your listing, to help you get ideas for launching new products, identify what's performing really well, track your top competitors, monitor what's new coming out in the marketplace on different marketplaces, see where you stand, how to take steps out for the competition. It's called particle.com. It's really good to see how you compare to how everybody else in the market compares, whether they're selling on Amazon, Walmart, Shopify, wherever it may be. Gives you some pretty cool breakdowns and some pretty cool stats so you can see where your weaknesses are and what you need to focus on. Number 12, Meta, which is the new name for Facebook. Because of some of the rules in Europe around privacy, they've had to open up and actually tell how their algorithm works. In the past, we've had to guess, but they've actually had to say how it works. And so they actually went a step further, and they said, all right, here you go. Here's how Instagram and Facebook's algorithm works. So go to that link at transparency.fb.com, and they will actually show you step by step, this is what matters for ranking, for exposure, and you could then optimize all your posts based on what they're saying is the ideal way that their system will automatically boost you up. But you can do this on all kinds of different categories. So they'll explain it for food, explain it for health and beauty, for pets, and different stuff. It's pretty cool. So check that out. Again, that's at that link, transparency.fb.com/features/explaining-ranking. Number 13, this is the way you do discounts actually matters. These are both basically the same price. If it's $90 normal and you say it's on sale for $80, or if it's $90 normal and do you give people a $10 coupon, you end up paying the same price, but which one of these actually works better? It's not the $90 and 80 at 80 with a slash and 80, that's a $10 discount. But if you did it this way and you gave them a $10 coupon, they see it as a $90 item, as a better, more luxurious item, but they have a coupon that allows them to save. So it makes them feel better about themselves, and it actually performs and works a lot better. So slash through prices can be great, but if you can stack a coupon on top of that, you should see conversions go through the roof. It turns out that this doesn't matter, and this is the reference to the study that tested this. If a discount was visibly shown, the prices were already reduced. Customers had no wiggle room in the price, so they preferred the cheaper option. It's called the final price neglect. When customers possess their own discount, they browse products by fixating on the price reduction rather than the final price. If it feels good, that's the name of the game here. It numbs the pain of purchasing larger things. So everybody always wants something better and feel like they're getting a deal. So instead of just slashing the price, you want to actually give a coupon. This is a good influencer marketing research and resource tool. It's called Upfluence. You can find all kinds of influencers on different social media platforms here that can do videos for your products. It's a really good little tool if you're having trouble finding good matches for who you want to reach out to. They also have a Chrome plugin that'll allow you to do some pretty cool stuff as well. Number 15, if you need to find new sources of products and you don't want to go to China or don't want to use Alibaba, trade shows and fairs can be a great place to do it, either by attending them or by just looking at their exhibitor list, getting a hold of their exhibitor list. If you go to tradefairdates.com, they have a list of all the trade fairs out there. So maybe you want to go to them, and maybe you want to go for some sourcing, or maybe you actually want to go and just get a booth and get your product out there in front of a lot of people. Or if you're just looking for suppliers, this can be a great way. Find the trade shows that are relevant to your product. Go click on their website, and a lot of times you don't even have to go to the trade show. You can just look, and they'll have an exhibitors list. And a lot of times because these guys are paying to advertise in there, they want leads. So a lot of times they'll have their website or a contact phone number or email or something like that. And you can also often find some really good supplier sources by doing this. If you want to spy on the top 1% of all e-commerce ads, something called Unicorn Ads. That's a pretty cool tool that will let you spy on everybody else. So you plug this in, and then it'll show you this is in your space. This is who is crushing it and getting lots of engagement and social shares on a baby product, for example. And then you can go and try to mirror what they're doing, study what they're doing, and then try to incorporate that into some of your your marketing. So you select your niche, and then it'll come back and show you these are what's performing best right now in that niche, and see if there's a pattern or see if there's something that people are liking, the way that the model's facing, the what they said, the way that the words are on the screen, whatever it may be. You'll start to see patterns, and that's what you want to emulate to try to get your content to go more viral without having to pay for it. 3D renders are really cool. They can boost your conversion rate significantly. There's something called fade visuals that does this. Some AI tools will do this too, but sometimes you still need a human. And fade visuals is someone that I've used personally, but they can do renderings like this tire um, uh, deal. They can do infographics. They can do lifestyle images. All 3D render. None of this stuff actually exists in real life. For example, these are one of my products that we sold during COVID. Hand wipes were big, and so we didn't even take a picture of the product. We actually sent them the Adobe Illustrator files. They were actually, and which had the specifications for the PMS colors and everything in it, and they were able to take those and then turn those into wireframes off of the AI, the Adobe Illustrator file, turn those into wireframes, add textures and colors, and then place the product without it even being existing yet into these scenes. And it creates some amazing stuff. And they make sure the shadows are right, because sometimes if you just Photoshop something in, it doesn't look right. You can tell these shadows aren't right, or this is out of proportion, or whatever. But this is perfect. And it's a really cool thing that they do. So you can take a picture with your iPhone and send that to them. You have to take a few pictures. They want front, back, side. There's a series of pictures. Send that to them. They can create a wireframe out of that, and then you can skin that wireframe however you want, whatever scene you want, and throw it out there for testing, or throw it out there for advanced publicity before your product comes out, or just have some really good product images on your Walmart listing. Number 18, if you're selling well on Walmart.com, and you might get the attention of some of the buyers over in Bentonville on Walmart, which is awesome. You might get invited up to Bentonville to actually make a presentation to see if you can get into one of their 4,000 plus stores, or not to get into their 4,000 plus stores. Or if you don't want, if you're just not ready for that, or they don't feel you're ready, you can also go to a site like Range Me, and these guys will help place you into stores. It might not be Walmart, it might be Walmart, but a lot of times it's smaller regional stores, or it's mom and pops, or like tourist shops, and it can be a great extra side hustle. There's something called Fairy, FAIRE.com, I think it is. It also does this kind of stuff, and you can reach into a lot of more mom and pops and create a whole wholesale distribution network that can be really, really good. Number 19 is you want to use deep links whenever possible when you're linking off from social media or your website or blogs, so that if someone's on their mobile phone and they click a link to go buy your product on Walmart or Amazon or wherever it may be, it doesn't go to a browser, because a lot of times it will actually go to a browser link and open up a browser within the social media platform, or the Chrome or Safari browser on their phone. But you want to actually open up in the app. So if someone has the Walmart mobile app, or Amazon mobile app on their phone, you want that link to go automatically open that app and show it in that side of that app. It's going to increase your conversion rates dramatically, creates less friction with people having to log in again or whatever. And so you want to use what's called a deep link. And there's a site called app.url Genius that actually does this. So that's go check them out, and they'll help you create deep links. That's just going to really increase your conversion rates when you're sending outside traffic into Walmart, especially on mobile devices. Number 20, this is how you can research products on Etsy to see if they might be worth bringing on to Walmart. It's a cool tool called erank.com. And you can see what's trending, what's working over on Etsy. And a lot of times you can bring that stuff either at a mass scale or even at a smaller scale onto Walmart.com. But you can they have all these tools, keyword tools. They have image tools, all kinds of stuff at eRank where you can just find all kinds of opportunities. And it's a great brainstorming place to see what's working in handmade, and maybe you can scale that into something that's higher production and bring that onto Walmart. Number 21, this is, if you need VAs in your business, this is a great way to actually find out what are people in the Philippines actually making. Should I hire someone in the US, or should I hire one of the good English speakers in the Philippines who understands Western culture? What are the price differences? If you go to multiplyme.com/salary-guide, they've got a great PDF that you can download for free that will actually show you the differences. For example, in operations, Maybe you need an executive assistant to help you out. If you're going to hire that person in the U.S. that has 1 to 5 years experience, it's going to cost you about $4,000 to $10,000 a month for somebody. But you can get that same person in the Philippines for about $900. That's a 76% savings. They have it here for marketing and advertising. You need a copywriter. You need a influencer marketing person. So you can see the savings differences you can have on average by hiring from the Philippines. And they have this in multiple categories, not just operations and marketing, but they have sales and support, creative design, a whole bunch more. So check out this guide. It can be a great way for you to see if, hey, should I be considering using more offshore talent that's actually a lot of times just as good as the US, but at a fraction of the price. You can also follow me and learn more tips and tricks like this at the AM/PM podcast that I host for Helium 10. Every Thursday, a new edition comes out, so check that out. Also, on my newsletter, if you like these, every Monday and Thursday, I do the latest and the coolest new tips and tricks. So you don't want to miss that. If you liked what I just saw, I do a lot more of this kind of stuff in my newsletters at billiondollar-sellers.com. I also have a summit coming up in Hawaii called the $1 Billion Seller Summit for high-level sellers, Amazon, Walmart, Shopify sellers. I do a virtual event in February. It's a virtual event online, February 21st to the 22nd, so you don't have to travel anywhere. And if you want to travel, come to us to Hawaii, May 18th to the 23rd. Details are at billiondollarsellersummit.com. And just one more quick thing before I go. One of the big things right now is you really need to own and engage your own audience. You need to own it, engage it, and be able to build an audience so that you can use that to drive traffic anywhere you want, whether that be Amazon, whether it be TikTok, whether that be Walmart, wherever it is. And the best way to do that right now is with newsletters. There's 3 really valuable assets to any business. That's your email address, the mobile phone number, and the snail mail address. If you can get those, that's more important in a lot of cases than intellectual property or your brand equity, because if anything bad happens to your business, at least you know who to sell to, and you control that. The traditional ways of building an audience are people teach you, go to Facebook groups or do advertising or create SEOs and blogs and get them to sign up onto your list. Those are great. Or post on Instagram or TikTok, or get influencers, or do press releases, do insert cards in your packaging and have people sign up for a warranty or sign up to download a PDF, or have landing pages where they enter their email address for a tripwire or something, or use other people's launches, other people's services, or launch services, or other people's audiences. Those are all great ways, but you don't control any of those, because with just a single click, Amazon or Walmart or Twitter or LinkedIn, any of those guys can wipe you out, and even if you didn't do anything wrong. So if you're building a business on social media, that's great. Leverage it the best you can, but just understand you're doing it on rented grounds, because the landlord like Jeff or Zuck or whoever, they can show up any day and kick you out, and you lose everything. That's why it's critical that you own your own audience and build an engaged email list. There's nothing more better than an email list. Most people don't change their email. They might have multiple email addresses, but they don't change their core email. Even, some of the big advertisers saying, look, if Facebook's traffic is plummeting, every time Facebook makes an algorithm change or Google makes an algorithm change, it puts some people out of business overnight, because the way they were getting traffic just immediately stops. So you got to own your own traffic. The smart marketers out there do it like this. They get attention where it's easiest. So that's social media or Amazon or Walmart or wherever. Then they transfer it to somewhere that they own, or which is email or snail mail. And the best way to do this is with the newsletters. There's a golden opportunity right now for people doing newsletters. It doesn't matter if you're selling a physical product or a service. Some of the big newsletters in the space, they Morning Brew is one on. It's like a daily morning newsletter, kind of a news kind of thing. They did $50 million in sales on their newsletter. That's not selling products. That's just selling advertising spots and affiliate commissions. And then they doubled that. That's more than double from what they did in 2020. And then there's a big business for people buying newsletters. Industry Dive was acquired for $525 million after just 10 years in business. The Hustle was acquired for $27 million. Morning Brew was acquired for $75 million. Milk Road, which is a crypto newsletter, within 7 months, 10 months, it sold for a high 7, low 8-figure sum. There's serious money in newsletters. most emails right now that people send out are promotional emails. So you may, yeah, everybody's got a newsletter. I get some from a lot of these people, but they're not newsletters. They're promotional emails. They're selling something. Or maybe a lot of people, they only send an email out to their list when they're launching a new product or there's some big sale or something like that. There's no value whatsoever in these newsletters. They're poorly designed. They're hard to read. There's no entertainment value. You got to remember Gary Vee's book, Jab, 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 Right Hook. Provide value, 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 then ask for something. And there's no better way to do that than newsletters, because newsletters, you go to them. They don't come to you like a blog post. I'm doing a webinar on this on December 1st, and you can register for free at billiondollarSellers.com/webinar. It's totally free. I'll have about 1,000 to 2,000 people that'll be on it. I don't know how many people are going to register, but probably quite a few more than that. So make sure you register now, and that way you can actually be on the early list, especially if you refer somebody else. But I'm going to be showing you in this webinar, about a 2.5 hour, 3 hour webinar, exactly how you can build a newsletter to really crush it selling physical products on Walmart, on Amazon, Shopify, wherever it may be. It's going to be very enlightening with all the tools, all the techniques, the do's and don'ts of how to do this and really take control of your business. So hopefully see you on that webinar on December 1st. Thanks a lot. That's everything I've got for today. Enjoy the rest of your summit.